Welcome back, folks. Thank you all for the happy birthday wishes. It's a pretty decent birthday, but around my age, it gets depressing since you're getting older. So, wah. But today we have a quick tank review video about the OI, originally called the Mito 150. This is a tier 6 Japanese heavy tank. It has a lot of armor, has a 150mm derp gun. It's basically a KV2 with armor. And you know what the KV2 does, right? So this thing is basically an armored up version of that vehicle at the cost of speed. But who needs speed, right? So if you haven't watched my previous videos, click on the right pictures to watch. But this thing is a seal clubbing tank if it's top tier. If it's bottom tier, it's still pretty annoying to play against because the 150mm derp gun. So that's a right vehicle. I like it. It's pretty decent. Now, do I prefer it over the KV2? Ooh, I played the KV2 a lot, and my cruise skills on the KV2 is tremendous. So I know how to play the KV2, I know what to do with it, what not to do with it. But the OI is a different beast, sort of, because the armor. It's not as fast, but it has the armor to compensate, has more health. So the KV2 is more of a peekaboo type of annoyance. It pokes out from a corner, derps you with a 152mm gun, and runs away and reloads. Whereas this vehicle, it's more standing there, derps you, hide a little bit, and goes back and derps you again. So yeah, it's pretty much the same beast, but a different tactic of the beast. So it's fun. Has 970 hit points, which is pretty chunky for a tier 6 heavy compared to a KV2. Has 110 more health. So it's a big vehicle. Weighs 150 tons. So it's very heavy. Don't ram it. Don't even touch it, alright? All tanks around tier 6 usually weighs about at most 50 tons. At most. So some tanks weigh about 20 tons. Or 30 tons like a Panzer IV. So yeah, don't go ramming into this thing. It's a bad idea. Has 1,200 horsepower engine to power the monstrosity of the hull and the weight. So the power to weight ratio is only 7.96. It's not that fast, so it takes time to rev up. Top speed is almost 30 kilometers per hour, so it's not fast. Hull traverse is 22 degrees per second. It doesn't turn very well. Has 150mm of armor at the front for both turret and hull. So it's pretty thick, but once people got tired of shooting and bouncing, they'll switch to gold shells. So 150mm is a gold ammo invitation, so to speak. Side armor on the hull is only 70mm. It's not good. That's actually the big weak spot about this vehicle. It's 150 at the ass though, so it has a lot of armor, but the side armor is garbage. So that's the main problem with this vehicle. The view range, however, is pretty decent for a heavy tank compared to the KV2. 370 meters of view range compared to the 330 on the KV2. Yeah, it's better. But depends on your crew skills and your crew training. You could have more, such as the KV2. Currently with all the crew skill I have, it's 360, so that's a 31 meter boost to the crappy view range. So basically you can have 400 meters of view range on this vehicle if your crew is super pimped out, but that takes time, so mwah. The radio is also not that good, only 425 meters. The same goes to the KV2, so the radio is not that good. Had to be in the front lines, and artillery support is limited, so to speak. So yeah, it's fine. I mean, this thing is a bully. Has a lot of armor, has a derp gun. The stock grind on this vehicle is not bad too. It has the 100mm gun. It's like the top gun on the T150. So basically the stock grind is painless, unlike the KV2. With the KV2 I had to play with a smaller derp gun, which is not fun, and had to upgrade the turret and other stuff. So yeah, the module research on this vehicle is pretty much completed if you research everything on the OI experimental or the Mito 100. So yeah, it's pretty fair. I fit a gun rammer to increase the DPM because why not? Put vents on to also help with everything. Now I put toolbox instead of the enhanced gunlink drive because the crew is not that well trained, so I have repairs for everybody. But once your crew has better repair skills, you can switch the toolbox out for enhanced gunlink drive or even a spall liner to help prevent high explosive damage. So that depends on your preference, but I would prefer enhanced gunlink drive. And the crew scale should look like this once you get more skills or more XP to the crew. So yeah, though it's pretty fun. If you have watched my previous videos about it, it's smash face. So today, we'll get to see the weakness of this vehicle in Tank Inspector, and I have a very good live gameplay of it. And here we had the OI in Tank Inspector, so we get to see the armor profile of this vehicle. So turn on the collision model, and we can see the frontal plates are all 150 millimeters. So shoot in the middle section to penetrate because it's less sloped. Don't shoot the mini turrets because they're sloped backwards. Same goes for the turret cheeks. Has a big enough mantlet to cover up most of the frontal flatter plates on the hexagonal turret, but yeah, the cheeks are 170-ish millimeters effective if the gun's pointed directly towards you. The mini turrets are also about 160, so if you have 160-ish millimeters of penetration, shoot the middle plate. Don't shoot the cheeks of the turret or the mini turrets because they will bounce. The upper glazes, yeah, 200 millimeters effective. Don't shoot here. Don't shoot the lower plate. It's an auto bounce zone for most tier 6 vehicle, for most tier 8 vehicles too. So yeah, shoot the middle. The side armor is not that good. Side of the hull is only 70 millimeters. So this is where your ammo rack is, right here. So if you get shot right here, your tank gets ammo racked. It takes about 40 seconds to reload the gun, and that's not good. Side of the turret is 150, so pretty decent. The rear armor is also very thick, 150 as well, with a mini turret to block some shots. But yeah, the side armor is the main weak spot about this vehicle, as well as the lower plates on the side armor. So right here it's 35 millimeters, even though you have a space armor to protect it. So what I mean is that if this vehicle is side scraping like this right here, shoot here and you will penetrate. You see the 36 millimeters effective plate right here? Yeah, that's a very big weak spot. Not that many people know about it. So shoot the tracks to penetrate, but the tracks are space armor. Just shoot right here. That's a big weak spot. Or shoot the side armor. That's where the ammo rack is. So remember, the ammo rack is right here on the corner of the vehicle. Shoot the middle will not damage the ammo rack, so this vehicle does not take a hindrance to the load time. But shoot right here. That's the ammo rack, and that's the ammo rack. So when you're going to a sniper mode, shoot here and shoot here. That's the ammo rack section, as well as the side armor. But so let's compare with the KV2. Has better AP penetration, so it's better at seal clubbing if it's top tier against tier 5 armor or tier 4 armor. So yeah, better AP penetration, but the high explosive is not as good. So as you can see, the high explosive, or what the frick? The KV2 does not have that big of high explosive. Yeah, I know it, but yeah, has less high explosive penetration, but more AP penetration. So a counterbalance, I guess, but it's more accurate than the KV2. So as you can see, has better accuracy than the KV2, better aim time, better gun depression, better gun elevation, better turret traverse speed, better hull traverse speed, better accuracy after shooting, and better terrain resistance, better view range, at the cost of camouflage rating, power to weight ratio, and top speed. So yeah, it has less DPM as well, but that's only 100 or so. It's fine. So yeah, it's basically like play with the KV2 with better armor. and a slightly better terrain resistance at the cost of speed and the size of the thing and camouflage rating, but it's worth it, trust me. So here's a live gameplay I recorded that's even better than the seal clubbing I did 2 days ago, so enjoy. And here I have a good gameplay demonstration of the OI. Now it's a tier 7 matchup, 48% chance to win, so know your targets, know your enemies, how much penetration do they have, and you should be fine with this vehicle. So play smart, take cover, always keep yourself to a cover or rock or building, and go one-on-one engagements. Never face yourself with multiple opponents because they might switch to gold shell and you get penetrated. You might get flanked as well. So switch to high explosive, keep them tracked, keep one-on-one engagements. This Stuart, he's a new player, so it's fine. He's a tier 4 in a tier 7 matchup. It's whatever. I don't expect him to do much, so well, watch this. And right onto a tank trap. Now, it's no KV2, so Stalin cannot guide your shells across the map and hit targets. So that was a montage worthy, but it failed. Oh well. Oh well. The Stuart is stuck. I took a look. Oh well. I'm not gonna help him. He's not gonna do much. So get to town, get into cover. Now know your opponents. Some tanks could not penetrate this vehicle without gold shells, like the Panther, M10, or the E25s. But some tanks like the Sturry Mill, the T25AT, no problem. So yeah, be warned. Now it does have armor, and some tier 6 will not have enough penetration even if they have 160 millimeters of pin against the frontal plate, because there's a drop off for the penetration of the shells across the distance. So the Hellcat could not penetrate us if it's shooting normal AP rounds. So let's take a peekaboo. Bonk. Now I bounced 2 shots from 2 targets, only spotted 1, which is the T-34-85. So basically someone else is shooting at me. And there's the gold shell. So that's likely from the Hellcat, based on the damage. Another one from the Hellcat. So people will automatically switch to gold if they spot you, or if they have a shot on you. So yeah, I don't need that kind of hate. We're running away. So don't overly expose yourself, and don't be too confident in your armor. Also, the side armor is not that good on this vehicle, such as that. So exposing your side armor is a very bad idea. What is this BDR looking at? He's staring at a building. Alright, tomatoes. Stock BDR stares at a building. Ugh. Alright, so know your tank, know your opponents. How much penetration do they have? And how much penetration do you have? Basically, for this KV-13, no time to aim for weak spots, derp him. So don't get flanked. Your side armor is only 70 millimeters. So any tank or any tier 4 will probably penetrate your side armor. So bad idea. Don't overly expose yourself, and don't be too confident in your armor. Sometimes it will be miraculously penetrated by some shells that you know does not have enough penetration because they shot your side armor, or the little cheeks from your drive wheels. So don't be too confident in your armor loadout or armor schematics. Oh. But yeah, try to shoot at weak spots on enemies like this KV-13. Side armor, rear armor, the turret cupolas. So yeah, it's not a bad vehicle, but you know to stick to buildings, which is very important because getting caught out in the open, getting artillery, yeah, you're pretty much dead. But take advantage of distractions, shoot side armors, shoot weak spots. Now, know your opponent. This Stuart Mill could kill us if he has the 128 millimeter, if he penetrates. But he donks the shot. And he doesn't have armor, so exploded. So know your opponents, know the weak spot of their armor, and stick to towns where you're one-on-one engagement. So use the strength of this vehicle to your advantage. So try to hide your weakness, which is the big hull chassis and the slowness with buildings. So yeah, this is a town-centered or oriented vehicle. Do not use it as a spotting vehicle. Bad idea. Do not use it as a freaking artillery piece in the middle of a field. Bad idea. So play this thing in towns. It's very important. Or take cover. Very important. Yeah. So it's a one-on-one engagement. It's a close range vehicle. It could snipe, but if you have the stock gun, but the accuracy is not that good. So it's a very close range vehicle. It's designed to annoy the crap out of your opponents, such as one-shotting them or destroying like half their modules in one hit. So if you're playing this vehicle in a tier 8 matchup, stick to other heavy tanks and provide fire support, whereas your armor is not that good. But knowing your opponents and knowing the penetration they have is very important to the survival of this vehicle. As you can see, very simple tactics. Stick to towns, stick to cover, do not overly expose yourself to multiple targets and get flanked. Also, don't be overconfident in your armor because people will switch to gold shell. Some people automatically switch to gold shell just because it's Japanese heavy tank and their reputation precedes them. So people will shoot at OI Experimentals, the tier 5 Japanese heavy tank, with gold shells, even though they don't need it because it's only 75 millimeters at the front. So I see tier 8s shooting at OIs with gold shell, even though they have 200 millimeters of penetration, just because it's a Japanese heavy tank. So yeah, if you're playing with a Japanese heavy tank, expect gold shells to come your way. So be cautious. Also, don't overly expose yourself to multiple targets. This tank is slow, it's big, the side armor is crap. Alright, stick to towns, have cover, have some teammates to be scapegoats or target dummies for your opponents, just to prevent them from flanking you. Just so, like a BDR who stares at a building, as long as he stays next to you, people will think he is active and playing the game, even though he's AFK. So they won't likely flank you in that situation. So take advantage of that, but play smart. So this is a close range vehicle. It's a derp gun. It fires 100 meters away. It does not fire like 400 meters and snipe, alright? It's a derp gun. It's supposed to be in your face and derps you and run away type of vehicle. If you play with the KV2, you know how to play with this vehicle almost exactly the same, but the KV2 has a better rev up speed to run away faster. This vehicle has a better armor to bounce more shot, but that's a small detail. So as you can see, yeah, penetrated tier 7s, no problem. Almost one shot it under the OI just because the side armor is crap. So that's a lot of experience. 4,000 damage, whereas my team, the second best damage is 1,700. Jesus, and the BDR was still staring at a building. Ugh. So know your opponents, know the strength of this vehicle. It's a one-on-one combat, it's a close range vehicle. Stick to towns. Artillery loves to shoot at this vehicle since the size of it. So stick to towns, stick to cover, and you'll be fine. And finally, like I predicted in my original leak video about this vehicle, this is a Seal Clubber's tank. It has a lot of armor and a derp gun, so this vehicle is very dominant if it's top tier and not being flanked or bum rushed. but this vehicle is not that good in tier 7 and tier 8 matchups because they have better penetrations. And Japanese heavy tanks also invites gold shells. So whenever you're playing a Japanese heavy tanks, expect gold shells from almost 75% of enemies you encounter. That's a reputation of playing with a Japanese heavy tank. Alright, so gold shells are coming your way, even if they have better penetration on the AP shells or normal shells, such as playing against OI experimentals. When they have 75mm, people will switch to gold even if they don't need it. So that sucks. If you're playing with the Oni, the tier 7, people will switch to gold shells because why not? 200mm, I'm scared of 200mm. Even if they have like 270mm a pin, they switch to gold shells. So yeah, people will do that. That's a reputation of playing Japanese heavy tanks. But yeah, this is a keeper in my opinion. So it's very fun. It's like playing with the KV2, except you have more armor, slower speed, better accuracy, better aim time, less penetration on the high explosive, but more penetration on the AP. So that's a counterbalance to the gun, if you will. But this vehicle has no camouflage rating whatsoever. If the Waffenträger of E100 has almost zero camouflage rating based on the height of the vehicle, this thing is taller. So this thing probably does not have any camouflage rating bonus. So you'll get spotted across the map immediately. You'll get shot from artillery. It probably piss off. The artillery that pissed me most off in this vehicle is the FE304. That little scumbag. So yeah, but it's fair. I mean, it's a gigantic heavy tank. You're supposed to stick to buildings where the FE could not quote unquote shoot you. So stick to buildings, stick to cover. Do not overly expose yourself to multiple targets. Don't get flanked. And don't be too confident in your armor because people will switch to gold shells. Yeah, whatever. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Special thanks to Kushner Nada for giving me another 1,250 gold for my birthday. It's like 3,750 gold now, so thank you so much. He's like one of my patrons, so yeah, thanks. Love it. I feel embarrassed saying that, but yeah, if you want to support the channel, you can help me via Patreon, or donations are appreciated from the YouTube website or PayPal. So I set up everything. Click on the link in the description below so to see the PayPal and other stuff, whatever. But thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.